I walked home feeling rather happy. I had scored 95 marks for mother tongue, the highest in the class. I pictured my mother smiling from ear to ear in my mind, then cooking my favorite dish, sweet and sour fish. I was still on cloud 9 when a bright and cheerful hi jolted me back to reality. I turned around and a cheerful old lady came into my vision. "Hi, Mrs. Lim," I murmured. She was my neighbor whom I didn't really like as she always wore old and baggy clothes, going around to collect newspapers. I went into the lift with her, feeling rather unlucky for having to be stuck in the lift with a dirty old man. When the lift reached the 6th floor, everything was suddenly dark. The lift was spoiled. I paced up and down in the lift, praying for a miracle to happen while old Mrs. Lim just sat in the lift and pressed the emergency button. I felt totally helpless and started crying. Mrs. Lim came up to me and comforted me. However, her words fell on deaf ears and I continued crying. She was still coaxing me when suddenly a loud growl came from my stomach. I looked down, flushed with embarrassment. "Are you hungry?" she asked, and not waiting for an answer, she took out a lunchbox from her bag. "This is supposed to be my lunch, but it's okay, you can have it." I felt a sense of guilt rush through me and I replied, "Thanks," I whispered as I opened the lunchbox. Floodgates opened and my tears gushed down my cheeks as I knew that Mrs. Lim was also very hungry. I heard from my mother that she never consumed breakfast as she had to rush to collect newspapers in the neighborhood. Lunch was her only meal of the day and this caused her to be as thin as a rake. After the meal, I felt much better and began to chat with Mrs. Lim while waiting for help to arrive. Minutes passed by and just when I was beginning to lose hope, a burst of light woke me up. "We are safe!" I exclaimed and hugged Mrs. Lim, who had a weak smile then on a wrinkled face. My mother rushed into the lift when she saw that I was safe. She cried tears of relief. She thanked Mrs. Lim profusely, but the latter just waved away her praises. Mrs. Lim stumbled as she walked home. An idea suddenly popped into my head, and before I had the time to thank Mrs. Lim, I went towards her and invited her to join us for dinner. She rejected the offer initially, but after much persuasion, she agreed. From that day onwards, I didn't regard Mrs. Lim as an old, naggy, dirty Mrs. Lim, but a dear, loving Mrs. Lim. Treasure your neighbor, love thy neighbor. This never occurred to me until I had gone through the dark experience.